Good, happy Wednesday morning, May 27, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to Good Morning, New Hampshire. Rise and shine, everyone. Let's get this Wednesday off to a good start. It is Wednesday, May 27, 2020. And welcome to this Wednesday edition of Good Morning, New Hampshire. Rise and shine, sit back, relax, grab your cup of coffee, and enjoy some Good Morning, New Hampshire. So we have a little bit of everything for you in this program. But first, we're going to start with the news. We're going to start with local news first. First step, employees who have prolonged contact with others can now get tested for COVID-19. 4 more New Hampshire deaths connected to coronavirus announced. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
When you cut lawns for a living, reliability matters. The Kubota commercial lineup with purpose-built mowers like the Z700, SZ, and W Series.
I don't know why it's so political. I think it's silly. New Hampshire's governor has recommended, but not required, non-medical masks or cloth coverings be worn in public for weeks. It's in line with CDC guidance, which says studies have shown face coverings may help prevent close proximity spread of COVID-19. But resistance to do so has sparked debate, from cities and towns in New Hampshire to the White House. It's not about who's doing it and why. It's about does it make folks healthier? We encourage folks to wear them. Under the state's reopening guidelines, all retail employees and some workers at restaurants are required to wear face coverings. But Sununu says customers don't have to pick up the phone and snitch if those businesses fail to follow the rules. We usually hear about it one way or the other, I'll say that, and we respond to it appropriately. Meanwhile, companies that have or will reopen are being urged to contact DHHS to have workers that have or have had close contact with customers tested for the virus.
Testing is widely available right now. We are doing same-day testing.
The expansion for those considered high risk comes as 2 more state testing sites open in Londonderry and Keene, and the arrival of 2 million swabs over the holiday weekend.
There are so many options at this point for testing. No one should want testing and not have it.
The governor also said today the state will likely be putting out new guidance for reopening churches and lodging by the end of this week. Reporting live in Concord, Tyler Dumont, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. 4 deaths related to COVID-19 announced in New Hampshire. 34 new cases. All new cases over 18 years old. The Department of Health and Human Services has announced 4 additional deaths related to COVID-19 and 34 new positive test results for COVID-19 in New Hampshire. There have now been 4,231 cases of COVID-19 diagnosed in New Hampshire. Several cases are still under investigation. Of the 4 additional deaths, 3 were women and 1 was a man from Hillsborough County. All were 60 years of age and older. Of the cases with complete information, all are adults, with 50% being women and 50% being men. The new cases reside in Hillsborough, 17, Rockingham, 10, Merrimack, 3, Stratford, 2, Belknap, 1, and Coos, 1. 1 new COVID-19 hospitalization was reported, with 421 of the 4,231 positive cases resulting in hospitalizations, according to health officials. COVID-19 in New Hampshire, what you need to know information. Let's take a look at that right now. And here is a look at that right now. There are 4,231 number of people in New Hampshire who have tested positive for COVID-19. 276 number of people in the United States who have tested positive. 214 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 421 number of people who have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire. And 100,544 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. And this map of New Hampshire right here shows you where current cases of COVID-19 are in New Hampshire. Manchester, 425. And this map of New Hampshire shows you where total cases of COVID-19 are in New Hampshire. Manchester, 1051. And now let's take a look at these three charts here. The first chart, new cases each day in New Hampshire. In the purple, new positive COVID-19 cases. In the orange, new hospitalizations. And in the red are the deaths. This chart here, current cases. In the purple, current COVID-19 cases. And in the orange, current hospitalizations. This chart here, total cases. In the purple, total COVID-19 cases. In the orange, total hospitalizations. Red, deaths. In the blue, recovered. This chart here, age group by cases. This chart here, female and male. This chart here, risk information. This chart here, race/ethnicity of cases, hospitalizations, deaths, percent of New Hampshire population. And again, your common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, chills, and difficult breathing. How it spreads, and prevention tips. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into national news. In national news, multi-state manhunt intensifies for suspected Yukon killer. Let's take a listen to that video from ABC News.
Home tonight. There is a desperate manhunt underway right now for a college senior, suspected now in 2 murders. Police have tracked him from Connecticut to New Jersey, now to Pennsylvania. Releasing new images tonight, and Ariel Reshef is in Pennsylvania.
Tonight, the urgent multi-state manhunt intensifying for suspected killer Peter Manfredonia. The FBI and local law enforcement combing Monroe County, Pennsylvania, after the University of Connecticut senior was last spotted walking near train tracks in East Stroudsburg. Police now say he got to those tracks by taking an Uber to a nearby Walmart. A 2012 Hyundai Santa Fe, then stolen from the area.
Peter has struggled with mental health issues over the past several years.
The 23-year-old a fugitive since Friday, when police say he brutally assaulted 2 men in Willington, Connecticut, killing 62-year-old Ted Demers. Sunday morning, Manfredonia allegedly breaking into a home in Willington, stealing food, firearms, and a truck. And nearby, authorities discovering the suspect's childhood acquaintance, Nick Eisel, dead.
I heard a loud bang. I heard a girl scream. And then I heard 2 people kind of arguing.
Manfredonia allegedly abducting an unidentified person from that home. The victim later found unharmed in New Jersey near the Pennsylvania border.
Peter, I want you to know that we are continuing our investigation. The one thing we are missing right now is you.
And the FBI saying they want this to end peacefully, but in the meantime, they say if you see this suspect, do not approach him and call 911 immediately. David?
Ariel Reshef with us tonight. Ariel, thanks.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And now let's take a look at the coronavirus updates for the rest of the world. COVID-19 cases among U.S. health care workers top 62,000. The true number may be much higher. Today's biggest developments. COVID-19 cases among U.S. healthcare workers top 62,000. South Korea reports spike in new cases. Spain begins 10 days of mourning for coronavirus victims. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's take a look at your radar. Let's go into weather. And here's a look at the radar right now. And as you can see on radar, it's all clear in New Hampshire for today. Your weather right now is sunny, 71 degrees. The weather for today, abundant sunshine, near record high temperatures, high around 90 degrees, winds south-southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into New Hampshire Life segment. In today's New Hampshire Life segment, 95-year-old Navy veteran, Manchester native, recovers from COVID-19, wanted to celebrate with a cold one. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Jean Mackin.
Strict attention to detail. That's what sets Kubota construction equipment apart. It's how we maximize performance, increase strength, and give you the dependability you demand. We engineer our equipment precisely at every level.
First reaction when you found out your 95-year-old father had COVID-19?
Truthfully, I was scared that he would die alone and I wouldn't be able to be with him.
Manchester native Leo Buat was diagnosed in early May at Hanover Hill. His family and friends formed Team Leo, sending support on Facebook.
I kept telling my dad, Dad, a lot of older people are surviving. Just keep fighting. And he told me, I have no intentions of giving up. I love life.
She knew her dad, a Navy veteran, has a fighting spirit. He met his wife while in the service. They went on to open Leo's Variety in Manchester. He moved into Hanover Hill 6 years ago after losing his wife. One of his recent highlights, taking an honor flight to the World War II Memorial in Washington.
But he had the best time of his life.
Wendy says her dad did not get severely ill. They received constant updates about the self-proclaimed mayor of Hanover Hill. Then Sunday, the phone call the entire family was waiting for. Leo was clear.
And I said, really, Dad? He goes, they just opened my door. I'm free.
You must have been over the moon.
I cried. And within a few minutes, he already said his favorite place to go is Billy's Sports Bar. That was his 95th birthday party at Billy's Sports Bar. And he said, when things settle down and everything's open again, boy, I want a cold one.
You earned it, Leo. Jean Mackin, WMUR News 9.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. Awesome story there. And we have a little cooking segment for all of you now. Let's go into our cooking segment. Reese Witherspoon shared a breakfast smoothie recipe she relied on for years. Let's take a listen to that video from Good Morning America.
Hey everybody! Okay, so this is a smoothie that I drink every single day. And I have probably for 8 years, 9 years, I don't even know. But it has a lot of vegetables in it. So I have this instead of breakfast. I have it around 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning, and then I'm not hungry at all until 1 o'clock. And I want to show you all the ingredients. Here we go. First of all, you need 2 heads of romaine lettuce. So I know this seems like a lot, but I already put a little spinach in here. You put celery in there, but it's almost like you can put anything green in the refrigerator. If you have lettuce and you didn't make that salad that you wanted to make, you can put it in there. Now also, it has to have something sweet, otherwise it's too bitter. So I put in 1 pear, 1 apple, and a banana. I also put in an entire lemon. I take the rind off a lemon and I put the whole thing in. seeds and all, because it gets chopped up and all that fiber is really good for you. And this actually makes 2 portions, so then I leave it in the fridge and then I don't have to make it tomorrow. I put coconut water, probably half a cup. And I use my Vitamix, but you can use any kind of blender. Sometimes it needs to be pushed down a little bit, so you shouldn't really do it like this. This is how I do it. Okay, so it's all pretty much blended, and then I wanted to tell you, you can add anything to it. You can add protein powder to it. You can add almond butter to it, flax seeds. I just remembered the person who told me about this recipe for the first time was Carrie Washington, because I sat next to her at an award show and I didn't really know her, but I was like, your skin is so beautiful. What do you do? And she said, I think it's from this drink that I drink. It's just really changed my skin and it makes my hair and nails really strong. And so so thank you, Carrie, for sharing the recipe. I know it looks like it tastes gross, but it tastes so good. I like these really pretty reusable jars. All right, let's see. It's so good. I love it so much. Try it. It's my green smoothie recipe. I hope you like it.
Okay, looks like a yummy and healthy, good smoothie. I'll need to try it. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's go into entertainment news. In entertainment news today, Jennifer Lopez is heartbreaking over postponing wedding with Alex Rodriguez. Let's take a listen to that video from Entertainment Tonight.
Because we did have some great plans.
Jennifer Lopez opens up about putting her wedding with fiancé Alex Rodriguez on hold due to the coronavirus pandemic.
I'm also like, you know what? God has a bigger plan.
The 50-year-old World of Dance judge appeared on Tuesday's episode of The Today Show and opened up to Hoda Kotb about postponing her I do's.
We just have to wait and see. Maybe it's going to be better. I have to believe that it will be.
As for when J-Lo and A-Rod will be able to have their ceremony, well, the superstar says that's all still up in the air.
It's disappointing on one level, you know, after the Super Bowl and after World of Dance, after we finished filming it, you know, I plan to take time off, which is what we're doing kind of right now. But at the same time, you know, we had a lot of plans for this summer and this year, but everything kind of on hold right now.
E.T. caught up with a former baseball star back in April, and he revealed how he and Jen had been coordinating with their personal teams, trying to figure out how to move forward with their wedding planning.
We had a meeting on Zoom with our core, with Benny and Lisa and Elaine, and kind of just going over what the next 12 months looks like. And we have like 3 or 4 different variations of how that can look, whether that's going on tour next summer, the other plans you talked about, and movies that you're planning. It's such a fluid world. I mean, usually when you underwrite a year, whether scheduling or financially, you never think about it's going to stop like this. So we're having to be very fluid, think on our feet, and just think very proactively. But at the same time, I think the most important thing for everybody is to practice great discipline, stay at home. We have to do this together, and every person counts. That's the way we're going to beat this thing, is together.
And the former New York Yankee opened up about what quarantine has been like for them.
I'm actually thrilled to be home because I'm never home. Right. So I'm making the best out of it. We're playing wiffle ball, we're playing chess, we're playing checkers, we're playing Monopoly, we're playing... And for us to have dinner with the kids every day is like a dream.
As for J-Lo, she echoed all that on Today.
Life at our house, I think, is like, you know, everybody's. The kids are in virtual school. Alex and I are doing a lot of Zoom calls. a lot of working, and that's it. That's pretty much it. I mean, what's nice is we get to have dinner together every night, and I gotta tell you, I love that. That part I love.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And now let's take a look at your celebrity birthdays for today. Let's see which celebrities are celebrating a birthday today. And happy birthday to all of these celebrities. We hope they have a wonderful birthday and a wonderful day. And that does it for this Wednesday morning edition of Good Morning New Hampshire. Thank you for watching this Wednesday morning edition of Good Morning New Hampshire. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for another edition of Good Morning New Hampshire. Goodbye, everyone.